Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you a step-by-step tutorial on doing a fine detailed Zardozi embroidery look. So many of you commented on my Insta post to make the tutorial of the illustration. So here we will learn that. Therefore keep watching the video till the end. To begin with, we will do the base color first. Here I am using watercolor to do the base. You can choose watercolor medium, poster color mediums and even alcohol markers for doing the base. And it's a intense black color and the fabric is velvet. So that's why with the watercolor I will go layer by layer. I'm starting with a very diluted color, that is the wash of the black, and I will slowly build up the intensity in order to achieve the velvetish fabric look. So guys, here we will color the folds individually, and after the first layer is settled well, then we will go and do the second layer. So this you can do in multiple layers in order to achieve the velvet look, and later also we will use some shading method to give the more intense fabric effect. So for now let's just complete the folds, and then we will move to the detailing portion. So we shall allow the base to dry completely before moving to the detailing portion. A very interesting hack which you all can use is having a white pencil and using it to trace the design. Like I'm just drawing the outline on the portion where I will add the final details. This way, even if you are making any mistake, you can quickly erase it and mark it again, so you have a particular idea in front of you, and this will also help you to draw the details on the folds in a very symmetric manner. Also, it depends on you guys at how much of the portion you want to trace. Like here I'm just tracing the outline, and the inner detail I will be doing it with the pen. So here comes the first step. We will use a silver gel pen to draw that very detailed embroidery effect. Now here guys, time is a very important factor because you have to do the detail as minutely as possible, and the more effort you put into doing the detail, like making each of the motif very carefully, it's going to look very brilliant at the end of the day. So there are some steps involved, and this is the first step basically, which is to trace all the detailing pattern in a very symmetric manner. The reason why I'm talking about symmetry here guys, because if you observe the reference picture which is inspired from the collection by Sabyasachi Mukherjee, you will see that every fold and every detail is so beautifully done, like the Zardozi embroidery. It's shown on each of the fold and it stands out beautifully, and the symmetry is so important here, like it's at the center of the fold, and you can also use a scale to mark out the line so that your placement of each motif is equally balanced, because it's very much important to achieve the final look. So you can observe here guys that I have first started to build the base of this bigger motif, and then I'm doing from the center so that I can spread out the motifs from the left and the right equally. So the goal is to bring out the proportion very much equally and to show that it's nicely placed at the center of each fold. So it's a bit time consuming. You have to have patience and try to do the detailing as fine as possible, because everything is connected, just starting from this pen detailing then till the end where we give the final shading. Every step is crucial and important to bring out the whole effect. So guys, definitely try this out because it's actually very interesting, and you will see how you can bring out that shiny sparkling effect. And I actually had to go through many trials and errors until I discovered this combination of the methods, and I always love experimenting with my mediums, and I could bring out the best with all the handy mediums which were available with me, like the very basic gel pens and fine liners. And you can also alter the mediums and try out this with the ones which you have already with you guys. So yeah, it's very important that you experiment and definitely try this one. And you can share your artworks with me. You can tag me on my Instagram and use the hashtag art studio by Shabani, so that it's easier for me to come across your artwork just under the hashtag. Okay, so finally I'm done with the pen detailing. Now we will use some gold colors to bring out the more vibrant effect of the Zardozi. You can also use mediums like acrylics and some other type of gel pens if you want. I will be using this watercolor and this detailing brush and use it to create this gold effect over the Zardozi embroidery. I'm using the shade blue gold and red gold. Okay, so guys, we don't need to spread the gold everywhere, just little bit here and there. At the end, you should be able to see a little bit of the silver and a little bit of the gold as well. Okay, so this was the second part which we did after the silver, and now comes the third part where we will make the color go little more on the darker side. I'm using burnt sienna mixed with little black, and we will use it to create lots of tiny dots within the embroidery motifs. Look here guys, I'm going very slow. This is the actual speed. And don't mix too much water to the mixture of the watercolor. Just pick the color very softly, very gently, and use it to place this kind of small dots. You need to have very good control on your hand and just use it little bit here and there. You don't need to cover everything, otherwise it will turn too much into darker brown. We just need to create this sparkling effect. Now guys, remember, every effect will come together, so all these steps are very important. So keep on doing this until you have like placed all these smaller dots over all of this embroidery motif. The fourth medium which we will use is white acrylic color. You can also use poster colors. In short, we need a very strong white color which will stand out and it will be very opaque. It should not fade away, and using that white color we will create this kind of tiny sparkling effect, especially in the center of the motif where it will catch the light and little bit dot here and there. You don't need to cover everything, just little bit here and there is fine. And also don't dilute the color too much. We need to have a very opaque intensity of the white. Here you can see guys how I'm doing the white color and how it's bringing out that sparkling effect of the Zardozi. So finally we are done with all the detailing here, and you can see guys the embroidery look. And now it's time to take the illustration to the next level. We will enhance our folds using very dark shading, and for that I can recommend charcoal. You can either use charcoal pencils or charcoal stick. I'm using a charcoal stick and using it in the folds, and after that you can take any blending stump. I'm using a handmade blending stump where you can just roll out papers tightly to create this kind of paper rolls, and use it to blend the charcoal powder. You can also use cotton tissue papers or your fingers to gently blend over the charcoal powder. Now charcoal is very dark, very intense. If you don't have charcoal, you can also try using your regular drawing pencil, that is the black shade, but I would recommend charcoal powder or charcoal pencils guys, because those are very intense and very matte, and they create this kind of 3D effect for the folds, which I'm showing you here guys. You can see that how beautifully you get the curve of each fold. And lastly, if it's a velvet fabric, you can create little bit of that velvet texture at the end using a white pencil at the center of the folds wherever the light is hitting, and it will create that velvet texture. Here I'm using the white pencil to create the final fold detailing, and after that I will use a kneadable eraser to pick the excess charcoal powder from the paper, because charcoal can be little messy medium to work with, so I always use my kneadable eraser to pick any excess charcoal powder on the paper. So guys, here is the final illustration, and let me know your views in the comment section, and also you can comment if you have any more recommendations and suggestions and video ideas. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I shall see you all very soon with another interesting tutorial. Till then, keep illustrating, keep practicing. Bye bye, take care.